a temperature sensing environment. And then after, Sanjay bhai, so, કેમ? સારું ભલે. સારું વાંધો ભલે. So, in the case of the phase modulated sensor, we have we'll be making use of a beam splitter, and with the help of the beam splitter, one signal will be directly sent to the detector and another signal will be passed through the temperature sensing environment, and then it will be given to the detector. So at the detector, we have we have the interference pattern, and based on the interference pattern, based on the distance between change in the distance between the fringes, the unknown physical quantity like temperature can be measured, right? So this was the first step, but we have seen two sensors, intensity modulated and the phase modulated optical fiber sensor. Now the second sensor is a force sensors. Now this force sensor, they are used for measuring the force. Yeah, they are used for measuring the pressure. Now what it is, if you can see here, we have the two blocks. Okay, and they are having the grooves on both the blocks. And this is your optical fiber cable, right? So the optical fiber cable will be placed in between these two blocks. The block at the bottom is fixed, और ऊपर वाला जो block है, it is movable, right? So this will move. If you can see in this figure also, the bottom block is fixed, and the block at the bottom can be moved, and it is having the grooves. If you can see here in this figure, right? Now we will take a light source. We'll be making use of a beam splitter, just like the second optical fiber sensor. With the help of the beam splitter, we will split the beam into two parts. One beam will act as a reference beam. यहाँ पे we'll be using an optical fiber cable. So ये optical fiber cable आपका जो है ना, वो extrinsic optical fiber जैसा behave करेगा, because the changes are not taking place here, right? So ये reference fiber जो है, which is connected with the reference element, they act as a extrinsic optical fiber cable, and the light will be sent through this fiber cable, and then they will be given to the detector. Then after, the another beam will be allowed to pass through the testing fiber. They will act as a testing fiber, जैसे ये वाला, right? So initially no force will be applied and they will be given to the detector. So the comparator will compare both the beam, the reference beam, and the beam that is coming from the testing environment. Right. Then after, you apply the force on this. So when the force is applied on the optical on this block, what happens? ये block नीचे आएगा, right? And due to this, जो आपका optical fiber cable जो पहले straight था, it becomes zigzag. Force की वजह से deformation आएगा, bending हो गए, right? And there will be number of bending. So due to this, you will be getting the bending losses, and this bending loss will decrease the intensity, right? So that will be compared at the output, and you will get the value of the force in terms of intensity. So you can tell this optical fiber as an intensity modulated optical fiber force sensor also, right? There is a modulation in the intensity. We are getting the reading in terms of intensity. We are getting the value of the force in terms of intensity, right? So this one is the second type of optical fiber sensor. It's very easy. You have the blocks. पहले straight था, losses कम हो गए. Now when you apply the force, zigzag हो जाएगा. There will be the increase in the loss, right? And that loss, increase in the loss of intensity will be measured. Then after, an important optical fiber cable, that is, ये change नहीं हो रहा है, you need to wait. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So now we have the second optical fiber sensor, that is a liquid sensor. Now what is this liquid sensor? The sensors are used for controlling the liquid level or any kind of liquid level in the tanks, right? So for this we will be making use of an optical fiber cable without cladding, right? We have the optical fiber cable without cladding. So say for example, this is a tank which is filled with water, yeah, any fluid, any liquid, and say for example, I want an alarm when the tank is fully filled. टैंक जब फुल्ली फिल हो जाए तब मुझे कुछ
मैम आपका आवाज ब्रेक हो रहा है।
मैम आपका आवाज ब्रेक हो
डू इज फाइबर केबल नहीं
मैम
मैम आपका आवाज
एक
नहीं आ
मिनट
रहा बराबर।
ये तो चल नहीं रहा है वो मैं टॉप पे नाउ दिस ऑप्टिकल फाइबर
मैम
केबल नॉट इन द केबल सो क्या होगा एंड यू हैव साइड यू विल बी हाँ a light source will be
आवाज
there
कट रही है
and हाँ बोलो
आपकी आवाज कट रही है मैम
यस आई नो बट ये मैंने बोला ना आज नेटवर्क का बहुत इश्यू है अभी फाइन है अभी इट्स ओके
यस यस मैम
ओके ओके थैंक यू सो व्हाट हैपेंस जो आपका ऑप्टिकल फाइबर केबल है ना वो मैं यहाँ पे रखूंगी टॉप पे ओके नाउ इट इज नॉट हैविंग दी क्लेडिंग so suppose if you have a water tank which is half filled. So at that time what happens? Your optical fiber cable will be open. Cladding नहीं है सिर्फ core है. So क्या होगा? When you pass the light through the optical fiber cable, losses will be more. Okay, and that will be detected at the detector. Now slowly the liquid level rises. Right now, when the liquid level covers the optical fiber cable, at that time what happens? Now I got a cladding. Okay, cladding के फॉर्म में मुझे क्या मिला? जो भी suppose if it is filled with water, so water will act as a water molecule will act as a cladding. Right. So as soon as this optical fiber cable is covered with water, एट द आउटपुट जो मेरे लॉस मिल रहे थे वो अभी कम हो जाएंगे राइट सो नाउ आई हैव टू कनेक्ट अ अलार्म सर्किट विद दिस डिटेक्टर राइट सो जैसे ही लॉसेस कम हो आई विल गेट अ काइंड ऑफ अलार्म फाइन सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट पार्ट कि अगर टैंक फुल्ली फिल्ड है ओवरफ्लो नहीं करवाना है मुझे तो जस्ट अबाउ दी जस्ट बिलो दी टॉप लेवल I will keep a sensor here. I will keep an optical fiber cable without the cleading. Okay, जब पूरा पानी से मतलब empty होगा तो losses मुझे बहुत कम मिलेंगे और जैसे ही पानी से cover होगा आउटपुट में losses जो है वो कम हो जाएंगे. That is an indicator कि now the tank is to be fully filled. Similarly, this kind of optical fiber cable are kept at this petrol tanks. ओके जो अंडरग्राउंड पेट्रोल टैंक होती है ना वहां पे पीपल यूज दिस ऑप्टिकल फाइबर केबल टू चेक वेदर द टैंक इज एम्प्टी और नॉट राइट तो एम्प्टी अगर जैसे मुझे एम्प्टी हो तब अलार्म चाहिए तो क्या करना होगा आई हैव टू कीप दिस ऑप्टिकल फाइबर केबल एट एन बॉटम ओके सो इनिशियली जब ये भरा हुआ है तब लॉसेस कम होंगे बट एज सुन एज द ऑप्टिकल फाइबर केबल इज अनकवर्ड तो लॉसेस ज्यादा हो जाएंगे सो जैसे ही लॉसेस बढ़ेंगे that is an indication that now the tank is to be empty right so in both the ways you can means the optical fiber cable can be used yeah optical fiber sensor can be used as a liquid level sensor right so this kind of things are there at the what you say the near the dams या near the river कि डैम पर्टिकुलर हाइट के ऊपर अगर पानी डैम में भर जाए right so at that time you will get a kind of alarm वहां कि योर आपका जो सेंसर है वो पूरा पानी में डीप हो जाएगा right so your losses will decrease and it will be an indication that now after some time the dam is will be above the dangerous height, right? So this one is means a very easy sensor. You can explain it practically भी आप समझ सकते हो कि how this liquid level sensor is used. Along with that, if you wish, you can write the polarization. I think this is the last one that I have covered. You can write the polarization sensor also. Ribbon sensors are also there. If you are reading, you can just write. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
So yeah, वो नेटवर्क का इश्यू है, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम आस्किंग कि मैं ऑडिबल और नॉट, फिर ऐसा ना हो कि मैं स्क्रीन से के साथ ही बातें करूं, right? So what we have seen in the optical fiber sensor is the first sensor is a temperature sensor. Temperature sensor में we saw the two types of sensors, that is the phase modulated and the intensity modulated optical fiber sensor. The second one was the force sensor, and the last one was the liquid level sensor, right? You please draw the diagram and then you can explain it for every optical fiber sensor. So these are the few advantages. If you wish, you can write. Right? This is an optical fiber sensor which is used in construction site. वो leveling के लिए they will tie the optical fiber cable with the iron rods and they can check the level. Okay, slope देना हो, and for the other things they can use the sensor. This is a bending sensor. रिबन, इसको रिबन सेंसर बोलते हैं. सो स्ट्रिप के फॉर्म में भी आता है. हमारे पास जो है हॉल इफेक्ट में ऑप्टिकल फाइबर सेंसर, इट इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ स्ट्रिप, राइट? सो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि वो सिलिंड्रिकल ही हो, वायर के फॉर्म में ही हो. यू कैन ऑल्सो हैव एन ऑप्टिकल फाइबर सेंसर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ रिबन ऑल्सो. उसको रिबन सेंसर बोलते हैं. ओके, पतली स्ट्रिप के फॉर्म में. I think that's all for the optical fiber sensor. So what we have seen in the fiber optics communication, what an optical fiber is, what is an optical fiber communication, how it is advantageous as compared to that of the microwave communication. Then after, the principle on which the optical fiber communication works. Then after, the derivation of a numerical aperture and the relative refractive index. Then after, we saw the classification of an optical fiber cable based on material, based on mode, and based on the index profile. So based on the material, means based on the application, the fiber cables are to be fabricated. Then after, in detail, we saw three types of optical fiber cable: SMSI, step, single mode step index optical fiber, MMSI, multi-mode step index optical fiber, and the graded index optical fiber. Then the optical fiber communication link. Okay, how the communication is done with the help of three different blocks. That is a transmitter, the relayer, yeah, you can say an optical fiber cable, and a receiver. And at last, we saw the sensors, right? I've just given you the points that we have covered so that I may know if I have missed any point. Okay, these are a very small chapter, and all these things we have covered. We don't have the losses in our syllabus. In few of the books, losses are also given. Fiber losses are also given. Bending loss and transmission loss in detail, right? So that we don't have in our syllabus, right? So don't go for that. All the things I have written in the slide in the form of points. जितने points है वो सब cover up होना चाहिए ये chapter में, right? So
मैम जो ग्रुप पॉलिसी में जो टॉपिक दिए वही आएगी ना सिलेबस?
हाँ, वही आएंगे. और इफ यू वांट टू कंपेयर ना, तो जो भी पॉइंट हम कवर करते हैं ना, दैट आई यूज्ड टू राइट इन पीपीटी. उसके अलावा कोई भी पॉइंट आपको नहीं कवर अप करना है.
ओके, थैंक यू.
डिटेलिंग में नहीं तो मैंने पॉइंट्स तो लिखे ही है, इधर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ फिगर या ऐसा बोल्ड करके ऐसा कुछ लिखा ही होगा. ठीक है. सो let me start with the next chapter, little bit lengthy chapter, that is physics of nanomaterials. I would like to start with the quantum mechanics, and then we will go for the applications and the synthesis techniques, fabrication techniques, how the nanomaterials are fabricated, nano devices are fabricated. That we will be seeing in the next chapter, right? Now see, in this chapter, as I told you at in the first lecture itself, the chapter is lengthy and it has a weightage of 25 to 27 marks if we are talking about the 100 marks paper. Okay, if we talk about the 100 marks paper, it has a weightage of uh, 25 to 27 marks, right? In the first part, we will be studying quantum mechanics. We have the quantum mechanics in the first part. In quantum mechanics, we will be starting with a wave equation. We will be starting with a wave function, a few properties of the wave function, and then after Schrodinger's equation, both the equations we are going to derive, Schrodinger's time independent equation and Schrodinger's time dependent equation. Both the equations we will be deriving, and then after the application of the Schrodinger's equation, that is a particle in a box. So what we will do is, after studying the Schrodinger's equation, we will be seeing its application in the hydrogen atom. Particle in a box is nothing, but we will be comparing a box with an hydrogen atom, a box in which there is a single electron, and that box is compared with an hydrogen atom because hydrogen atom is also having a single electron, right? So at the time when I take the chapter derivation, I will be telling you how we are comparing it with the hydrogen atom. It's really an interesting theory, particle in a box, right? So with the help of the Schrodinger's equation, we will be deriving the energy of the particle in, and I will tell particle, electron की बात नहीं करेंगे, right? I'll be telling particle because Schrodinger's equation is applied for all the types of particle. So, with the help of the Schrodinger's equation, we will be deriving the energy of a particle which is located in any particular energy level. कोई भी स्टेट में आपका पार्टिकल हो तो उसकी एनर्जी फाइंड करने के लिए, मोमेंटम फाइंड करने के लिए, we will be making use of the Schrodinger's equation, and that is possible with the help of this particle in a box theory. We'll be solving a few interesting sums also. I don't know how interesting it is for you people, but I like quantum mechanics as I have studied 7 to 8 papers, right? It is full of assumptions. You need to assume certain things also. Some of you might be aware. So we need to imagine an electron which is having an particle nature, which is having a wave nature, and then we will be studying the property of that particle, property of that electron possessing the wave nature, right? So it's full of assumptions. We will be comparing the motion of that particle, invisible particle, by taking help of the classical mechanics. Suppose if I say that particle is having the wave nature, okay, then what I will do is I will think of a wave equation in classical mechanics. Classical mechanics मतलब आप लोग wave equation string वाले wave पढ़े होंगे, right? वहां पे जो equation थी ये sin omega t minus kx, right? तो वो वाली equation में assume करके I will convert it into the quantum mechanics, y की जगह psi ले लो, and then you keep on deriving the things, right? Similarly, this, if I say a motion of a cradle, okay, simple harmonic motion. So simple harmonic motion को भी मैं quantum mechanics में convert करके I can explain what a simple harmonic motion is for a cradle, yeah, for Earth moving around the sun, right? So all these things, lots of assumptions we'll be doing and we'll be deriving the equations, right? Very good equations which you need to remember while deriving also. बिकॉज यहाँ पे हमारे पास कुछ लिमिटेशंस है, सभी इक्वेशंस हम डिराइव नहीं कर पाएंगे, कुछ एज्यूम करके वी विल बी मूविंग फर्दर. So that is the first part. We have the 3 derivations in the quantum mechanics, and 5 marks derivation होता है, and the numericals based on the Schrodinger's equation and particle in a box we will be solving. In the second part, we have the fabrication techniques. how to fabricate the nanomaterial, how to synthesize the nanomaterial, right? Yeah, how to fabricate nano devices, just a PN junction diode. So how this PN junction diodes, how the semiconductor devices are fabricated in nanometer range, right? Fabrication in nanometer range. So a very good technique called the CVD technique is used for fabricating a nanodiode, semiconducting material, semiconducting diode है या triode है या transistor है, right? So that we will be studying how to synthesize, how to fabricate a nano device, whether it is FAT या MOSFET. Similarly, there can be a surface modification by using the nanomaterial, right? जैसे say for example bulk material था तो उसकी जो thermal stability थी वो कम थी. I want to use that material for building a boiler, right? So boiler पे आप जो material use करते हो उसकी thermal stability जो है वो ज्यादा होनी चाहिए, right? So how that material is fabricated, surface modify कैसे करते हैं? By what you say, by डिपोजिटिंग अ थिन फिल्म. एक मटेरियल जो सॉफ्ट है उसको मुझे हार्ड बनाना है सो दैट कि उसकी प्रॉपर्टी चेंज ना हो, तो मैं क्या करूंगी, आई जस्ट डिपोजिट वेरी थिन फिल्म ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ द सॉफ्ट मटेरियल एंड मेक इट हार्ड, उसकी प्रॉपर्टी में चेंज कर दूं, राइट? So that fabrication technique we'll be seeing in the second part along with the applications and properties, right? This is also an important part you people will be enjoying, the synthesis or fabrication of the nanomaterial. It will be a new thing for you. And then after in the third part, कि if I have fabricated a nano device, मैंने कोई nano device बनाया है, तो how to check the device that has been fabricated by me is in nanometer range, right? So for that different types of instruments are used. पहला काम क्या करेंगे कि अगर मैंने कुछ nano device fabricate किया है, so I have to check its size. Size check करने के लिए क्या use होता है? Microscope, right? So here also in nanotechnology also the microscopes are used for checking the dimension, but optical microscope will not do. You have to use the electrical microscopes, right? And that of very high resolution, right? So we'll be seeing the two microscopes in the third part. मतलब कैरेक्टराइजेशन टेक्निक उसको बोलते हैं, कैसे कैसे डायमेंशंस आप चेक कर सकते हैं, हाउ यू कैन चेक दैट द डिवाइस, या समटाइम्स पाउडर भी फैब्रिकेट करते हैं या पाउडर भी सिंथेसाइज करते हैं. सो डिवाइस या फाइबर पाउडर सिंथेसाइज बाय मी इज इन नैनोमीटर रेंज. सो उसके लिए 3 इंस्ट्रूमेंट हम पढ़ेंगे, ज्यादा नहीं, जो इंपॉर्टेंट है. स्कैनिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन पढ़ेंगे उसका, स्कैनिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोप. So what an scanning electron microscope consists of, पूरा उसका internal view, right? उसी तरह second जो microscope है वो transmission electron microscope बोलते हैं, right? अभी आपको पता नहीं चलेगा, but I will tell you the difference. So second will be also be a microscope, and third is XRD machine. Okay? XRD जो ये हाथ पैर टूट जाए तब जो XRD मशीन यूज करते हैं वो वाला नहीं, मटेरियल का साइज चेक करने के लिए जो XRD मशीन यूज होता है वो नो डाउट बोथ आर XRD मशीन्स ओनली, XRD ही यूज होते हैं, लेकिन उसका इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन अलग, राइट? तो यहाँ पे हम जो XRD का इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन पढ़ने वाले, दैट इज बेस्ड ऑन द व्हाट यू से मटेरियल साइंस. ओके, डिवाइस फैब्रिकेट करने के बाद उसका डायमेंशन चेक करने के लिए जो यूज इंस्ट्रूमेंट करते हैं, दैट इज नोन एज that XRD we are going to study here, right? So almost we have 3 sections, and सब में बड़ी बड़ी theories है, 5 marks की theories है. Fabrication technique 5 पढ़ेंगे, so you have 5 theories, 3 instruments in the third part, and lots of application. Nanomaterial has lots of application. See, whenever you are converting a bulk material to a nanomaterial, there is a change in its property. The property of a material changes. क्यों? If you have any idea, can anyone tell me? क्यों बल्क को नैनो में चेंज करते हैं तो उसकी प्रॉपर्टी ड्रास्टिक चेंज होता है? सरफेस टू वॉल्यूम रेशियो उसका बढ़ता है, right? Surface to volume ratio is increasing, and that's why there is a change in the property. Let me tell you one or two important application, yeah, one or two important properties of transformation of a material from a bulk to a nano. Gold, right? What is the color of the gold?
Golden.
Golden color, right? And physical properties solid, right? Now, when I am converting this bulk gold into nanometer, the physical property of a gold changes और उसका solid state जो है वो liquid में convert होता है. Solid gold gets convert into liquid gold. अगर मैं gold nanoparticle लेके जाऊँ bottle में भर के, right? And if I tell देखो ये gold nanoparticle है, no one will believe me. If they are not educated, they have not learned nanotechnology.
मैम आप कुछ लिख रहे हो अभी?
Sorry?
आप कुछ अभी लिख रहे हो कि मतलब आपने स्क्रीन
मैं
शेयर किया है
लिख
क्या?
नहीं रही हूँ क्योंकि ये
अच्छा,
हैंग हो
ओके।
जा रहा है इसलिए सिर्फ मैं बोल रही हूँ.
हाँ हाँ,
इसलिए
ओके मैम,
मैंने
ओके।
स्क्रीन इक्वेशन स्टार्ट नहीं की, आपको एप्लीकेशन ही बता रही हूँ, इंट्रोडक्शन ही दे रही हूँ मैं आपको. फाइन. इसलिए मैंने लिखने का ट्राई किया लेकिन वो हैंग हो जा रहा है. सो आई थॉट
यस मैम, यस मैम।
right. So gold, when I convert it to nano, what is happening? जो solid form था वो liquid में convert हो गया and the color yellow या golden color as you told changes to light pink color, and depending upon the size of the gold nanoparticle, the color varies from light pink to red color. So, suppose if I am having just an example, a gold nanoparticle of 100 nanometer, right? So 100 nanometer will be light pink in color. जैसे जैसे उसकी size decrease होती जा रही है ना, वैसे वैसे light pink, dark pink में change होके at last it will be red in color. So there is a change in the color. There is a change in the physical property of a gold when I am converting it from a bulk to a nanoparticle. Another thing is, what kind of magnetic property does the gold possess? It is non-magnetic, let me tell you. Right? But when I am converting the gold to nano, na, वो paramagnetic properties show करता है. All these changes are because of the change in the surface to volume ratio. जैसे आप atoms को break करते जा रहे हो, surface जो है वो बढ़ता जा रहा है, volume कम होता जा रहा है, right? Which will increase surface to volume ratio, and it is because of that there is a change in the property. You take silver. Silver is silver in color, solid, right? Now when I am converting it to bulk, na, solid form आपका liquid में convert हो जाता है, right? And पहले तो colorless होता है, slowly वो जैसे ही आप particle size change करते जाते हो ना, वो yellowish liquid में convert हो जाता है, right? So it's a magic. You can say some of the magical properties of nanomaterial, right? उसी तरह कोई मटेरियल ऐसा है कि जिसकी थर्मल स्टेबिलिटी बहुत कम है. ओके, वी यूज्ड टू फैब्रिकेट इट in the form of a magnetic nanomaterial, right? We are fabricating. My few of the PhD students are doing work on magnetic nanoparticles, right? So initially वो material जब bulk में होता है ना, तो उसकी मतलब melting point बहुत कम होता है. But when it is converted in nano form, उसकी जो melting point है वो बढ़ जाता है. सरफेस प्रॉपर्टी भी चेंज होती है, हार्डनेस बढ़ जाती है, स्ट्रेचेस जो है वो कम हो जाते हैं, वेयर रेजिस्टेंस उसका कम हो जाता है. मतलब मशीन के पार्ट्स में जो डिफरेंट पार्ट्स जो यूज होते हैं ना, वो आफ्टर सम टाइम्स ड्यू टू द वर्किंग इट गेट वेयर आउट. तो अगर उसके ऊपर मतलब नैनो मटेरियल का पॉलिशिंग कर दो तो इट चेंज द प्रॉपर्टी, राइट? नॉन मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल मैग्नेटिक में कन्वर्ट होता है, जैसे गैलियम आर्सेनाइड सेमीकंडक्टर. Gallium and arsenide separately are insulators. But when I am combining gallium and arsenide and building a quantum well मतलब एक बल्क में लूंगी और दूसरा मटेरियल में नैनो में लूंगी. जैसे मैंने गैलियम लिया, गैलियम के ऊपर व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल कोट इट विद अ वेरी थिन लेयर ऑफ आर्सेनाइड. गैलियम के ऊपर मैं आर्सेनाइड का कोटिंग कर दूं एंड उसके ऊपर दोबारा गैलियम ले लूं, राइट? मतलब कि आर्सेनाइड के लेयर को मैं सैंडविच कर देती हूँ दो गैलियम के ब्लॉक के बीच में. सो दैट आर्सेनाइड विल सर्व अ वेरी गुड प्रॉपर्टी, वेरी गुड कंडक्टिंग प्रॉपर्टी, क्योंकि नीचे इंसुलेटर है ऊपर इंसुलेटर है, तो क्या होगा, when you apply the electric force ना, your electron will easily travel in that thin layer without any resistance ideally. Okay, so nowadays this gallium arsenide has replaced the traditional semiconductor like silicon and germanium. It's showing a very good conducting property as compared to the old traditional silicons, right? So non-magnetic material आपका magnetic में convert हो गया. Non-conducting material even get converted to the conducting material when you are converting the non-magnet the insulator to the nanoform. So conductor जो है वो insulator भी बन जाता है, insulator जो है वो conductor भी बन जाता है. And initially you might have heard the size of the computer was of a size of a room, right? Slowly with the advancement in the technology, the size of the computer went on decreasing, right? Nanodiodes आए, nanotransistors आए, right? फिर hard disk की size भी कम हो गई because of the magnetic nanomaterials. These magnetic nanomaterials are widely used in hard disk for storing the data. So it has reduced the size from the size of a room to the size of the watch. Okay, desktops, then you have the laptops, and laptops may be varieties, and then you have the palm tops and tablets and mobiles, and now you can use it with your watch. And now even foldable laptops, yeah, foldable screens are available. That is nothing
ग्लास
but,
आने लगे
eh?
ग्लास आने लगे ना तो
So that is nothing but they are the memory devices that is used in that. Okay, so that is the nanotechnology, foldable screens mein. Okay, so still it is not saturated. Still there are new and new advancement. Okay, a few more application I will show you in the form of the video also, in the form of some pictures also, and even I will show you the results that my PhD students has obtained. Okay, some means you will be able to understand once we cover this quantum mechanics and other things. Very good results in nanotechnology we are getting, even for the purification of water in all the fields, not in technology. In biotechnology also it is used for the purification of water. What we have done is we have taken the wastewater from Naroda GIDC, right? People of Ahmedabad might be knowing. It is the most polluted area, Naroda GIDC. There we have number of organic pollutants also, and even some of the bacteria also there. क्योंकि waste water आता है and then फिर वो canal में ऐसे ही when it will stay, na, some of the living organisms also develop. Fine. So what we used to do is we used to pass it through microbial fuel cell. Again, there the nano electrode carbon nanotubes are used in that microbial fuel cell. Okay, वो purify करके waste water निकाल के और with the help of MFCs we are generating some voltage. इतना भी voltage नहीं कि AC वगैरह run कर सके. 8 volt 9 volt जितना voltage उसमें से generate होता है. एंड फिर उस जो वाटर MFC मतलब माइक्रोबियल फ्यूल सेल में से निकलता है ना, वो वाटर में वी इन 1 liter वी जस्ट यूज टू एड 0.23 ग्राम ऑफ नैनो पार्टिकल्स या रफली 0.200 ग्राम ऑफ नैनो पार्टिकल्स इन 1 liter ऑफ वाटर. सो विद इन 1 hour जो डस्टी वाटर था ना वो आपका पूरा प्योरीफाई होकर ट्रांसपेरेंट वाटर बन जाता है. So they are very good absorber of the pollutants. Okay, वो purify करके that water is used for the in the agriculture purpose also. Fine. And even dye का जो color है वो भी वो absorb कर लेता है, remove कर लेता है. Right? So very good property क्योंकि वो catalyst जैसा काम करेगा, आपका surface area बढ़ गया, right? So it can also be used as an catalyst. Now coming to the first part, ये तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. If the time permits, I will. Yeah, I am not audible. Hello.
मैम यू आर ऑडिबल
Someone has written, "Ma'am, you are not audible." That's why.
मैम अब आ गया
आ गया, ठीक है. Now coming to the first part, why quantum mechanics? Before starting nano technology, yeah, physics of nanomaterials, we need to learn quantum mechanics because in nanotechnology we are going to deal with some invisible things. And in physics, being a physicist, we people, कभी भी कुछ invisible thing आए, so we used to take the help of quantum mechanics, right? What is the nature of that invisible particle? वो कैसे move करता है? What is its conductivity? What is the energy possessed by that particle, right? So in order to learn the invisible thing, we will be taking the help of the quantum mechanics. And along with the quantum mechanics, for deriving certain things, we will also export the classical wave equations also. And from that, we will be deriving the equation. So I'll be starting with the first word, that is a wave function. Okay, your quantum mechanics is incomplete without a BIR. Okay, without the letter psi. What is psi? It is a wave function. Can anyone tell me what this wave function is? If you know.
Psi.
Okay, fine. But physical interpretation?
Ma'am, this was used in Schrodinger's wave equation.
Okay.
In that equation, just to define the position of the electron, we can say.
Probability of electron.
Sorry, probability of electron. Yes, ma'am.
That is psi square. This is your probability.
Ma'am, like, it can predict whether it's having an electron cloud in that region if possible.
Okay. It
Ma'am,
is a wave function, you can say, of position and time. If I take it square, I will get the probability. So I can tell this as a complex wave function. What is psi? Psi into psi star gives me psi square. How to take the complex conjugate of psi to get psi square, and this psi square will be some number. It gives you the probability of finding the particle in a given space. It's a kind of, yes, this is a very good answer. It's a kind of amplitude, just like the amplitude. Okay, probability density of finding the electron having a set of amplitudes. See, in short, what I want to tell is, whenever in quantum mechanics we deal with any problem, we have to assign a wave function psi. Say, for example, I want to explain the motion of the cradle, a simple harmonic motion of a particle, right? So for explaining the simple harmonic motion of a particle, I have to assign a wave function psi to that simple harmonic motion activity, right? Now I can assign a wave function psi to a process which is not steady, right? Your process has to be variable. So simple harmonic motion, your body is doing the motion, to and from motion. So for that, I can assign a wave function psi. But say, for example, someone is telling that a duster is lying on a table. Explain this in quantum mechanics. It's not possible. Okay, your body has to, your physical quantity has to be varied. For a steady physical quantity, I cannot assign a wave function psi, or I cannot explain that steady
Ma'am,
function.
psi was assigned because of that Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, right?
Yes, right. So वेरिएबल क्वांटिटी आपकी होनी चाहिए. जैसे ना इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स है, सो इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स को मैं साई असाइन कर देती हूँ क्योंकि वहां पे आपका एम्पलीट्यूड वेरी होता है. Similarly, say if you have a steady water and drop a stone on the steady water, you will get the waves. Slowly, slowly, slowly वो decrease होता जाता है, right? So कोई भी variable quantity हो उसको मैं wave function psi assign कर सकती हूँ. For a constant quantity, I cannot assign a wave function, right? अभी आगे define करेंगे, बहुत सारी definitions है psi की. It's a kind of amplitude. We'll be using it in the form of amplitude also. So this psi, we'll be studying the properties of the psi also. I think 12 बज गए होंगे अभी. हाँ. So in short, we will discuss this psi and then we'll move on to the Schrodinger's equation. What this psi is, abhi net aaya last class में. Okay. So thank you all of you. You'll
Thank
be
you,
having
ma'am.
your- Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
You'll be having other classes also.
Thank
Even
you,
I have
ma'am.
the- Yeah, welcome.